Hello, everyone. It is time for Geeks and Gamers Daily. I'm tired. I was in the middle of the biggest Twitter shitstorm I've ever seen. All thanks to not Ryan.
It's true.
It's Dan Vask's
It was
fault.
me. It
Holy
was me
crap.
this time.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
actually Dan. Ryan, I'm assuming you see the error on Rumble's side.
Yeah, that's weird.
So that's why I got a little
I'll check
distracted
it.
on my normally really cringe opening. But since Ryan's working on that, and Ryan didn't create the biggest Twitter firestorm known to man, we got one half of the two people behind it. One of them was Az versus Hill versus Babyface. Shout out to our boy Az. And the other would be Dan Vask, who can't monetize his viral video on Twitter that I found out yesterday. Hello, Dan Vask. How are you, brother?
Yeah, hello. But now, actually, I can use a VPN to pretend that I'm on the United States, and I can monetize it. So yeah. But it was insane because I asked Az because I thought he was going to clip it and post it on Twitter because that was too good of a rant. I thought, hey, Az is obviously going to transform that into some kind of content for Twitter, but he didn't. So I messaged him. I tweeted the DM I sent him. You saw it?
I didn't. Let me pull that up really quick, Dan.
Yeah, go to my Twitter. I DM'd him and said, hey,
right,
dude, you're.
Here, I'm sharing my screen right here. Boom. There we go. Here it is. I sent a text to Hill versus Babyface before the shitstorm. Hey, dude, mind if I screen grab your epic rant about Starfield woke shit post at Twitter? Might bring you some heat, though.
And he was like, sure, dude. Go ahead.
It's one of those like images that precede terrible events or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Images that precede disaster.
That's fantastic, man. Holy crap. So obviously we got a few things to talk about. And we also have normally the most positive man on the internet, Ryan Kennel, is here to kind of offset all the toxicity that will be happening during this stream. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I was like, I talked about it on my stream and everything, but everyone was just all on Twitter. I was like, I have to say something. So I made about the dumbest possible remark to Hassan. It's an inside joke from Friday Night Tights that like has like 25,000 likes or 2,500 likes. And a lot of people saying that I'm retarded. Or calling Hassan retarded. But
well, that's the best. That is the best thing about like, and I've talked about this before. I've talked about this before with you, Ryan, or even it's me to a lesser extent because I don't get the heat that Ryan gets. But no one's ever gotten the heat that Az got yesterday. But being part of like what we have with FNT and GG Nerdrotic, all that stuff, like we don't care, man. We just relish in it. You know what I mean? Like we just roll with it. We just make fun of each other still. I personally have never seen anything like it. So I haven't even been tweeting a lot recently. I haven't been on Twitter that much. It's just kind of a whatever. Yesterday was the craziest thing I've ever seen on Twitter. It was a fucking shit show. It was Thunderdome. It was a madhouse. I was having the blast. And then Gary absolutely ended Mark Hamill. Holy shit.
I saw that.
So I'm just gonna go. So Gary put like, oh my goodness, this is legendary stuff right here. Let's see, share my screen right here. Mark Hamill says, anybody miss me? Gary responds, your granddaughter. And for those that don't know, oh my God, man. So Mark Hamill and his wife, there's a story out there that they reportedly had pressured I think she's the ex-girlfriend now. Or
she's the ex-girlfriend of his son.
The ex-girlfriend of his son. They were pressuring her when she got pregnant with his granddaughter. The family was pressuring her to abort it, and
because they didn't want to have to pay. They didn't want to have to pay for the kid for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and so I put this. I said, sorry for your gain, Mark, because right here is the Star Wars actor Mark Hamill's granddaughter born despite abortion demands. So yeah, sorry for your gain, Mark. I mean, dude. Gary went full savage mode. It was like this all day long. I got into it with RGT85. I'm a huge fan of RGT85. Did you see that whole interaction, Dan? So RGT85, I've talked about it many times. He's not a Nintendo YouTuber, by the way, for those asking. He wants to make that clear. That's an inside joke on his channel. But RGT85 quote tweeted, I think it was either Hassan. I think it was Hassan's clip of Az, the one that he, embedded that was yours ultimately. I think it was that one. And he basically said, like, Az needs help. He's this, he's an idiot. Yada, yada,
Stole my video.
Yeah, so
that I stole from Az.
so I quote, I responded to RGT and ratioed him, and basically was like, he don't need help. That's my boy. That's Hill versus Babyface. He's fucking awesome. Yada, yada, yada. I was like, I knew you guys probably fucking hated me. I've been trying to send you DMs to help you guys out. Now you're trashing my friend. We went back and forth. He comes back at me. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then and then ultimately we ended it with a handshake after arguing, which was cool, and I basically was like, look, man, I'm just here to defend my friend. That's all I really care about. And, but we ended it on a handshake with respect. What a day. Ryan, why don't we just lay the frame now that everybody's here? Thank you, everybody. We have Dan here, Ryan here. Lay the foundation for this Starfield discussion, and let's just get right into it, I think.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to share my screen because I got so much fucking audio to share. I can't just share a fucking window. Let me get this really quick. And it all did start with Dan. Dan is to blame for
it's my fault.
Fucking all of
I
this,
laughed so much when Ryan was talking about it on his stream. Like, it's all Dan's fault.
It really was, to be honest with you.
Well, so as of last night, I haven't looked this morning. It was at 10.5 million interactions.
It's almost 12 million.
Oh no! Yeah, look, holy shit. 12 million. Yep. Me and
I was getting ready to rant.
I said Western gay.
Western gay mean.
Yeah,
and like
a lot of people noticed.
It should be pointed out, like I said, that this is a super fucking divisive.
Yes.
When you look at it has 9,000 likes to like 7,500 quote tweets, like 6,500 comments, right? And this is the difference between, Az going on this rant for his audience who's been watching him play Starfield, right? Who's been sitting there going through everything with him and his core audience and his subscribers. And then when you take that thing, which is that stream has like what, 25 or like 1,500 likes to 14 dislikes. When you take that thing and put it out in front of everybody, you might have a different reaction. And I guess let's just roll with it.
I just want to say something to people. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off. Fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world. Just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us. Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns!
Now, a lot of this has been a discussion about pronouns.
Yes.
So, Dan, you were watching this when it happened. It wasn't just we're going to talk about it a little bit. I have a little thing we can show when you start and when you build your character, which is a lot of shit's customizable. When you're about ready to start the game, based on your body type, it assigns you pronouns, and then you can change them if you want to. This was after that, and it was when Az had encountered some butch-looking chick who made some admission to him that it's like, oh, but I have to admit something to you. I'm actually a clone of a man, but I decided I'm a woman or some shit like that.
That's what happened, right? Az has that clipped out.
Yeah, we have that too.
Yeah.
So what happened? I wasn't watching this live. Actually, what happened was after my own private shitstorm with my first tweet saying that I was refunding the game, somebody commented, "Hey, you're not the only one. Az had an epic rant the other day, like actually the day after, the day before, about that. You should check it. And then I went to check it. I was like, holy shit, I have to retweet this. So yeah, and then the shitstorm multiplied by 1,000.
So, and I think this is one of the parts right here, right? This person.
And if somebody said, "How about I invite Az?" I don't know if Az is around. Obviously, he would.
I talked to him. He said he's busy working on his own video about it, and I bet it's gonna be some epic shit.
Yeah, he's probably focused. If he's watching though, he's obviously just if he pops in the chat, we can send him an invite. But go ahead, Orion.
Here we go. This is the part that I'm talking about.
Listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier.
Yes.
So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there.
You're a dude.
My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance.
Uh-huh.
The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place.
Yeah.
I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War. Former head of the UC Navy.
It's so weird. Now, listen, I haven't played the game. I can't judge it. I can base on what I've seen from other people here. But it was after this entire sequence and this mission that he kind of stopped and paused and went on this rant.
So it was right after that.
Yes. It was like, I would say probably like 15 or 20 minutes after that interaction. And I think he finished the storyline and then went on the rant, if I remember right, based on the stream. So we'll let him continue.
Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring!
He's 100% right, by the way. 100%.
We can't see past our own fucking reflection. That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company. Fuck your immersion. Fuck you having a good time. Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost. No, no, no. Current fucking day. Fuck off. You're boring. You're fucking dull. You have nothing to say. You are a one-hived mind twat waffle. That's all you fucking are. And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired. You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything, every single solitary fucking thing.
Passion, baby. Passion. That's the end of it. He just kind of simmers there for a minute and pulls it back up.
And then he's played for another 20 or 30 hours after that.
Yes,
yeah, and this is the thing about it. We're not knocking on people who chose to keep having fun with the game. Just ignore it. You can be like, it's okay to have a higher amount of tolerance to bullshit. People have different amount of thresholds, but I think just looking at that weird ass character creation tool, living in a strange parallel dimension, a Californian college reality where gender doesn't exist and pronouns are interchangeable at a whim, denying that this is woke. Now that's just disingenuous. You can, it's okay if you want to keep playing the game, but just admit it. You find that wokeness reasonably acceptable and you moved on. But saying it's not woke at all, then I think it's disingenuous.
So I was looking forward to playing Starfield. I thought Starfield looked fantastic from just a space exploration. I really did think it looked great. And even after hearing about the pronoun thing, as much as I hate pronouns and I think they're super cringe, I was like, I still think I would probably, it's bullshit. And Az is 100% right. And his rant is not isolated to just pronouns. It's a combination of if this is the first game we've ever seen with any identity politics or pronouns or anything like that, this is the first piece of entertainment, that rant doesn't happen. That is not a rant specifically about Starfield. That rant is something from someone, a fan that has seen every property that he's interested in ruined over and over and over and over again. And then he gets to the point of a big AAA game that he's excited about. And once again, he's hit with it in the beginning. And it's a combination of years and years and years of frustration. And I totally back him 1000%. And now seeing the rest of the context to it and understanding the time frame, it actually makes 10 times more sense, because I didn't understand that time frame that Ryan just put together. I didn't understand that, because that makes it even more valid in my opinion. Go ahead, Ryan.
When we're talking about pronouns, again, that is the most dumb, disingenuous way to frame it. Be like, everybody uses yes, of course everybody uses pronouns. We're not talking about pronouns like I say he to Jeremy and he to Dan. We're talking about this whole new wave preferred pronouns thing, as if you have a choice over what they are. Your pronouns are dictated by whatever your gender is. That's the bottom line. That's why we call dudes he. That's why we call girls she. But the idea of introducing yourself in your preferred pronouns, or the idea that your pronouns are even a choice for someone, that is some of this new bullshit that's being inserted everywhere. Now, to Dan's point, when I look at the character creator, and I pulled up this, I think Lofty put this in here to show what we're talking about right here. Based on the body type that you choose for your character, when you're about to complete your profile, it has, you put your name in, and then it immediately fills in what the default pronouns would be for that character. Now, I assume that character interacts with people, and people call that character she or her or he or him, depending if they're interacting in the world. I haven't played it, so that's just me pushing that out there. I will say that you have something like Hogwarts Legacy, which is, I was kind of irritated because it was almost genderless, period. So,
the character creation was completely the same thing in a parallel dimension where gender doesn't exist.
Well, I would say in this one, gender does exist, but in that one, it was like they didn't even want to. They did body type 1 or body type 2, voice 1 or voice 2. And then whenever anyone interacts with you in the world, they don't use a gendered pronoun. They just say they. Now, could that be because they didn't want to record double the lines that you would have to throughout maybe, I don't fucking know. But I would have less of a problem with this than I was annoyed with Hogwarts Legacy, but I haven't actually done this character creator, so I don't know.
Yeah, this one in the previous body and face and stuff, there are things, there are options that are clearly male or female, but in Hogwarts Legacy, they call it type 1, type 2. Hey, you can walk like a chick or you can walk like a dude, but let's just call it type 1 walk and type 2 walk. That sort of shit already started pissing me off. And then when I saw this, I was like, oh, come on. It's exactly what Az said. It's like it pulls you right out of that world, and you go like, oh, that's right. I'm not in this fantastic imaginary world to lose myself in. I'm not here. I'm in 2023. I'm in current day.
It makes it feel like you're in this room with a bunch of people who are introducing themselves. My name is Rowan. My preferred pronouns are he, they, like all that shit, right?
Yep.
Because that's where all this is coming from.
I have to pull up this comment. This person says, it's a video game, it's not reality. Stop bitching. Tell that to the people that are constantly talking about modern times, current day. We need to reflect current times. We need the racial sensitivity out of these games. How about all the times that we've had a remaster and they've removed certain elements of the game so that it's not offensive nowadays? That's the reality that you're talking about, and that's the reality we're talking about. So I live in a world now where Activision is now saying the police voice chat. Motherfucker, you invented the term toxic game chat. You thrived on it, and you made billions of dollars off of it. Now they're actually changing the physique of women in games, so she's not sexualized anymore or some bullshit like that. That is the problem. So no, it's not just a video game, and it's not just 2 weeks to slow the curve, and it's not just a mask. Okay, like we've been through this song and dance too many fucking times. The "it's just" argument falls flat for anybody that's been paying attention. It's not "it's just" anymore. That is not part of the equation, because with social justice, it's all about implementing one little thing so they can then kick the fucking door open and give it everything. And if you start rejecting anything that they offer, then you're just a toxic person. It's like the cycle of social justice. Go ahead, Ryan. I'll pull that. Or go ahead, Dan. You had a point.
Yeah, it's gaslighting of the first order, because the very people who are saying, "Wow, they're just mad about pronouns." What? Well, where have you been the last decade where people have been trying to fucking put you in jail for misgendering someone? Those are the same people complaining, "Oh, he's just mad about pronouns." Well, welcome to our life, where we have to deal with you weirdos constantly nagging and whining. It's ma'am. It's gaslighting of the first order. It's amazing.
If you're going to put in preferred pronouns in the game, I should be able to walk around and misgender people. Please make that a part of the game too. Right? It needs to be represented.
Exactly.
But the entire point, like the whole preferred pronoun thing, which is what we're talking about, the preferred pronouns, how people identify themselves as opposed to how historically people have always been identified. It's an effort to normalize the abnormal. It's an effort to normalize the 0.2% of people out there that don't conform to the traditional pronouns that you would be assigned. And it's bullshit. It's an effort to make everybody do something to make the 0.1, 0.2% feel more normal when they absolutely are not.
Yep, 100%. And that's just kind of where we are with all of this. And we've seen it time and time again. It's not isolated to this one game. It's not isolated to one moment. It's years and years and years of property after property after property being absolutely destroyed by social justice warriors and social justice politics. We've just seen it. And I mean, we're going to continue to call it out. We're not going to be, nobody's going to get upset over a few ratios on Twitter or something like that. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, like, some of the people who then came after him, like, this is Hassan, this weird British guy losing his mind over selecting pronouns in Starfield is the perfect demonstration for why we must bring back lobotomies.
By the way, not a lot of people are bringing this up. What is the reason for the British remark that doesn't have anything to do with racism? What could be the possible reason to make that remark that doesn't encompass any sort of racist thought behind that?
I guess
British
just because he has an
remark was really
accent,
weird.
that's about the only thing. But yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that he's a New Zealander, which Ryan corrected, but that's that's 100% inside joke. But yeah, like, what is the point of that? And again, that just shows you, like, I mean, it's Hassan. He's gone after me. I retweeted him, and I basically was like, remember when you basically didn't play Hogwarts Legacy because your own community intimidated you, even though you wanted to play it? And then there's Ryan's retweet right there. I bet so many people are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, like, there's a lot, like, what? I didn't know that. It says UK in his profile, and then they would censor the word retard.
Yes.
But yes, this is an inside joke from FNT, because we say he's from New Zealand. I get 2,600 likes. So stupid.
Oh my God, man. All right, you want to talk about Hassan real quick, or we don't need to play it because it's the same.
No, but you have Act Man, right? Gorilla shaped man on verge of crime because Starfield lets you pick pronouns at the start of a game, and then it's never brought up again. Someone please shoot this guy with a bear tranquilizer. He's going to attack someone. And like, I like Act Man, a lot of Act Man's content in terms of how he talks about video games.
Who is he? I don't know him.
He's a big content creator.
Big YouTuber.
He got demonetized a while back. Everybody had his back. I'm fairly certain Az probably had his back as well when he got demonetized. His whole channel got demonetized. Everybody went out there, gave him signal boost and everything like that. I talked about it. I have to imagine Az talked about Az is just as in tune with a lot of that stuff as me. And you know, he just went hard after Az yesterday. Very, very, very disappointing for sure. Right here,
gaslighting of the first order. Those
yes,
people will always try to diminish and encompass everything you're talking about into one stupid point that they're assuming and pretending you have, and then they try to find that made up assumption that they have about you, that and it's insane.
yeah, absolutely. Real quick, I want to share this. This is the circle of diversity. We demand to be included in your space to make it more diverse and inclusive. Next step, we demand you change this space to our liking and ban stuff that offends us. Next step, we demand you be kicked out of this space we created since you offended us. LOL, if you hate it, why not just make your own space? Start the circle every fucking time. And so, yeah, it's like, hey guys, it's just, you know, it's just pronouns. What's the big deal? Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what Razorfist is like. Pronouns are no big deal, dude. And if you don't believe me, try suggesting they be removed from Starfield. Your mentions will be festooned with strangers eager to explain what a not big deal that would be.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. And Gary said something about it too. Gary said, yeah, pronouns are not a big deal. If I see a dude dressed as a chick, I'm going to call it a hey. Yeah. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. And again, shout out to all of you. I see War Machine dropping gifted memberships. I see $50 super chats, $20. We're going to get to all of that soon. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate that. Also, subscribe to Heel versus Babyface if you have not.
Oh, and, dude, I have to send him a Christmas card this year.
Yeah, this has been wild. It really
it's all Dan's fault. It's fucking wild.
The best.
At least my haters clipped out all my shit.
Ryan, do you have Sargon's tweet?
I do. Yeah,
that one was good. Sargon's was excellent. Damn. And shout out to Sargon. Am I out of sync? I don't know, baby Chewbacca. I shouldn't be.
Not to me.
He's all right.
Okay.
This one.
Yes, that one right there. This was excellent right here. And he kind of breaks it down. And I think did he ratio rich on this one?
Dude,
8,000
this is like the
likes.
Avengers. Everybody's in it.
Yes, everybody's involved with this. But you know, it's not really about the pronouns. Pronouns are just a symptom of a pervasive corrupting force of social justice continuing to humiliate white men for the crime of being white men. It's everywhere in the real world, and now in his escapism, which he got paid good money for. Why should he not be angry? And then he just goes into that. But like Sargon is one of the smartest people, you know, in our little sphere here. He's been doing this forever and a day. And I love this one right here from Sargon, and he broke it down perfectly because it's so much more complicated than that. But it's Twitter, and this is what's going to happen. Things get clipped out, and that's fine. Hey, it's fair game. You know what I mean? But if you look at it, especially when Dan did it, one of his friends, but
it's like even the idea that he's bitching about like selecting pronouns. Obviously, when we went through and talked about how it was well into the game and he had an interaction with some random clone of a man who decided that they were a woman, like all this stuff, it was a lot more detailed than simply she, her, or he, him popping up in the character selector thing. But I mean, it's the same way where people say, "Aren't you the guy that hated the Batman because there was too many good black people?" Right?
Yeah,
it's like a 30 seconds they get clips out of a longer conversation. And no, I liked the Batman.
Yeah, the whole thing has been wild, and I had a blast on Twitter yesterday. That's probably the most fun I've had on Twitter in a long time. Not to mention, dude. And let's not forget. Like FNT's already in a firestorm. I'm not part of it.
Oh yeah,
the whole Blue Beetle, the whole Blue Beetle thing. Like holy crap, that's going on. Like Ryan, that Drew Hernandez gave you guys a great tweet today that I retweeted after you retweeted it. Shout out to our boy Drew Hernandez. But that whole firestorm's going on. And listen, at the end of the day, you know what's ultimately going to happen. And I tell this to anyone that's going through what's happening with Az, and Az has been doing this long enough, and he gets it and he understands it. He is getting dragged right now all over Twitter, but he's also gaining a shit ton of support. What's ultimately going to happen is when it's all said and done, all the people that are pretending to be fake offended over what Az is saying, They're going to go away and find something else to be fake offended over. Az is going to gain thousands and thousands of followers, thousands and thousands of fans. You look at his Twitter interactions, they're through the roof right now from anything he tweets right now. So all those people will eventually go be mad at something else. And Az has gained thousands of new fans. That's ultimately what it comes down to. So
what happens
I
with
got like 2,000 new followers in 24 hours.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, what happens with this stuff is as long as what you're talking about is what you've been talking about, who you are and who your fan base and subscribers knew you were when you subscribed, they're not going to fucking leave because you said something that's right in line with your character or what you've been saying. Right. Or what you've been talking about.
Yep.
All that's going to happen, you're going to find a lot of people that fucking hate you. But at the end of the day, your subscribers are going to go up and up. Your followers are going to go up because more people are going to find you that are identifying with what you say.
Yeah,
Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But I reject it's just this argument, though. We have seen this way too many times, and we are well beyond just being accepting of it. And it's different for each person. I mean, we all see a thing here, a thing there. And it's going to bother you on certain levels, and we try to overlook things, but ultimately, like I've said this about, like, there is nothing I love more than Cobra Kai. I love Cobra Kai so much. All right. It's one of my favorite shows. There's little moments in that show when I'm going, okay, if the girls and the guys are fighting, why do I always see the girls beating up on the guys, but the guys never get like a real good shot on the girl? It's not realistic.
I noticed that too.
Put the girls in the fight. Hey, that's fine. I have never seen a dude just straight up beat the living fuck out of one of the women, but I've seen the women beat the shit out of the men. That's a problem. It just is.
Yeah.
And I love the series. It's one of my favorite series, period. But I see these little things and I'm like, this is bullshit. This is bothering me. And it's something you have to acknowledge. It doesn't mean it destroys your enjoyment of it, but it's there. It's there.
Yeah, it has to do with your personal threshold, that everybody has a different one. Your personal threshold for the woke bullshit, and also how much you care about that particular media. And the reason I don't get much into controversial topics and that sort of stuff. First, I feel there's enough great people talking about it on the movie and TV show spaces and that sort of thing. But when I saw the Starfield thing, there was no one talking about it. I googled Starfield woke and nobody was talking about it, and I said, hey, I'm gonna come out and talk about it because I'm very passionate about Bethesda games, and it was really just like watching an old friend like go crazy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Oblivion was one of my favorite games of all time. Skyrim. The first time I played Oblivion was like a dream. I couldn't believe it was possible to have a game like that. So Bethesda games is something I'm very passionate about. So it also has to do with how much you care about the property being damaged.
Yep, absolutely. I got to interrupt. We have some breaking news, some sad breaking news. We heard these reports yesterday, but it's now official. Steve Harwell from Smash Mouth officially passed at the age of 56. Damn. That's rough, man. We lost Jimmy Buffett a few days ago. We had reports that he was on his deathbed a few days ago, or at least yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, he went into hospice care. He had liver failure or something. Yeah.
So Smash Mouth lead singer, he had battled alcoholism for years, from what I understand. He was dealing with liver failure, and now he's no longer with us. So RIP. Iconic band, a lot of different songs that just everybody kind of knows. Some of them were kind of memed at times, but sad, man. Super, super sad. So hate to hear that. Thank you, chat, for letting me know about that. I did see that. I don't know who the first person was that said it, but definitely big RIP. And yeah, like Jimmy Buffett, that one shocked me a few days ago. We were just talking about Jimmy Buffett a few days ago, Ryan. We're at Universal at Jimmy Buffett's fucking restaurant. And
I literally went by there to get a drink last night, actually.
Ryan, I was talking about it.
Went
I was
out
like,
for Jimmy.
yeah, I was like, Jimmy. I was like, Jimmy's got like the best life. Like, this is what we were talking about at Universal. And Ryan go like, yeah, he gets to sit there, drink beer, sing songs, fish, and have, 40, 50-year-old women flash their tits at him all day long. That's what you said. So
Yeah.
it's
Man,
sad.
he lived a good life, that's for sure.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But rest in peace to Steve Harwell of Smash Mouth. Absolutely crazy, man. So
let's get to some of these. We got a
Yep.
lot of chats and,
Yep.
and stuff piled up. All right. There was a big 50 that came in. I wanted to get to that if I can go find it. 50 euros from Ryan. You got a nice name. Bethesda is tacitly promoting the fantasy that pronouns are a choice and that we're not a binary species by shoehorning preferred pronouns in a game. It's called soft propaganda, which uses pop culture, games, and entertainment to re-educate. There you go.
Yep.
Thank you, Ryan. For the
and
big
thank
score.
you for that. Thank you. And look at there, 4,000 viewers in the morning stream. Dan Vasquez ratings. Fuck Dan Vasquez. This is all about Az.
Yeah, this is Az. It's because of that thumbnail. I had to do a lot of pauses before I found one that was like, all right, that's okay, and doesn't like really fuck him over. Pimp Daddy Propane for 10. Can't watch today. However, we'll ask. Who was the most we totted over the weekend? Actman, Hassan, Mark Hamill, Recator, or Lofty Pixels? There were more fights on X than in Little Mermaid theaters.
Listen, I do like Lofty. Lofty is cringe as fuck, okay? But I do like Lofty.
Dude, back when it was just me and Nina getting shit for that, and like Nina was getting how do I pronounce his fucking name? Ian Miles.
Oh, Ian Miles Chong. Yeah.
Ian Miles Chong.
He went after Az this morning too.
Yeah, Nina was getting Ian Miles Chong, and I was getting Lofty. Like, for fuck's sake, Nina.
I respect Lofty because he is willing to have a take that is not popular within the spaces he's in, and he's going to stand by it. You know what I mean? He's not afraid to get shit on. He's not afraid to get ratioed. And there's something to be said for that, even if I typically disagree with him on most things.
I disagree with a lot of what he says.
And the same thing, and the same thing with Recator. Even if he has a stance that he doesn't think is necessarily popular, he's not going to change his mind just because he's scared to say something.
Yeah,
so I respect the hell out of that.
Yep, 100%. I mean, I was me and Nick were going back and forth. Me and Nick were having such a respectful conversation on Twitter because
people got
mad. I think we both understand that if it showed like we were like fighting, then people are gonna go, oh my god. And so I almost texted Nick just to be like, fuck you, bitch, just so I can get that out of my system. So on Twitter we're having such a respectful conversation right now, even though we disagree. You know what I mean? But
you can tell when it's respectful, but it's some underlying tension in there you need to let out in private.
I love Nick. We were just like, hey, I respect you, Nick. He's like, oh, thank you for that. And I was like, I just want to tell Nick to go fuck himself, and just in a friendly way, because that's how we talk to each other normally. You know what I mean? But shout out to Yellow Flash, and yeah, world-class comedians, man, world-class comedians. Yeah, what a wild day yesterday was. The last few days have been wild on Twitter. So
Daysco rides, remember, for a month. Extraneous pronouns suck. KCW for 199. Happy Labor Day, G&G crew. Hail Dan Vask. Yeah, the thing about Labor Day is when you work for yourself, it's not a fucking holiday. But thank you. Repeat for 10. Hail 199. Why is Az being attacked? I hope we answered that for you. Slaglust for 2. Grums was right about Starfield. I don't know what he said. I don't really care about Starfield. I'm waiting on Elder Scrolls 6, to be honest with you. So,
oh, dude, can't wait for choosing my pronouns in a medieval world. Fuck's sake, man!
Choosing my pronouns as a lizard person.
I'm much more excited about Sky Oblivion. Ryan, you heard about that?
No, is somebody modding
remake. It's a mod. It's being done completely like by volunteers, because you also cannot make money out of it for legal reasons. But mods are remaking Oblivion in the Skyrim engine.
Did you play Elder Scrolls Online at all, Dan? I know your internet connection sucks in your third world country, but did you play that?
But I did. Yes, I managed to. But it was a long time ago. But I heard there was this huge update that changed everything, but I haven't played it.
I liked it actually. I didn't play with anybody. I just played it kind of like it was a solo game. I actually really enjoyed ESO.
Yeah, it felt like a regular Elder Scrolls game that happens to have other players around you.
Other people running around doing quests too. Yeah,
you could play it as a single player game perfectly.
I think I'm just gonna play Sea of Stars and not fuck with fucking Starfield. Like Sea of Stars looks good. Have you seen Sea of Stars?
I've heard about it.
It's like Chrono Trigger. It looks like Chrono Trigger. Like it's an RPG. It looks just like I've got it pulled up. But like
I heard there's people from the Chrono Trigger / Cross
right here. Yeah, this looks
the soundtrack, working on the soundtrack.
Yeah, this looks fantastic. Look at that.
Yeah,
like I really want to play this.
Oh, dude, it takes me right back.
Yes,
RPGs.
It looks like, and honestly,
Golden Sun.
Most of the time, I will if there's, and this is it's almost a hardline rule with few exceptions. Most of the time, if there's a multi-platform game, the Switch is the definite last resort. You know what I mean? If it's a multi-platform game, I would probably play that on my Switch just because it's got the Super Nintendo, vibe, 16-bit vibe to it.
For 2D games and indie games, if you want to play it on the go, the Switch is fine. But I primarily use the Switch for just Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I got to make this comment real quick because I made this tweet. We don't have to go into details. I don't think either one of these guys have watched it. I've watched half of the first season of One Piece live action. And it's fucking fantastic. Now, I'm a normie on One Piece. I've only seen a little bit of the anime. I loved the live action One Piece so far. It is
a live action anime adaptation by Netflix.
So fucking good.
That is not shit.
It's so good. Now, I'm a normie on it, but there you go. Yellow Flash. Now, I know Yellow Flash is not a normie on it. He says, I love One Piece. It's crazy. So it's so good. And I looked it up after I watched it. I was like, I don't know how, again, fans could probably hate this for all I know, because it's Netflix. Every adaptation they've done anime-wise has been a disaster. I looked it up on like Rotten Tomatoes, got like a 96% audience rating. Dude. Now, Krista told me, and I didn't know this, she told me One Piece and Dragon Ball are like both mega popular. Like it's the popularity are high for both of them. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. And she goes, One Piece and Dragon Ball fans are always fighting, arguing. I was like, I didn't know One Piece was that prominent, but it is. One Piece is massive, and the live action is fucking amazing. So
interesting. A live action anime adaptation by Netflix that is not shit. It's kind of historical.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
All right, over on Rumble, Faux Peasy for 2, powerful meme, and it's the one of little black girls being like, now we can finally feel represented, looking at Ariel, and then every other race of men being like, yeah, that's literally me looking at an anime. So thank you. Mark of Reality for 2. Hey guys, I was looking for As original video on YouTube, but I can't find it. Is it still up? It is still up. It's
during a live stream.
It's during a live stream. Part 2.
The part 2 of the gameplay series.
He's ironically wearing a Geeks and Gamers shirt during it.
He was. Yellowfish's Ryan was quick to get the topic off anime.
We got a lot of fucking super chats to read for this hour-long show, so I'm trying to read, and I don't care about it. It looks retarded to me.
I did say, yes, I'm glad. Matter of fact, I'm tweeting that out right now. I had it saved him. I'm glad Hill versus Babyface was wearing a Geeks and Gamers shirt. This is my problem with Alex Stein, Primetime 99, when he called me a while back, and he's like, this is when he did the Barstool thing. And I was like, he said, what'd you think? I was like, I'm pissed. He goes, why? I'm like, because you weren't wearing a G&G fucking shirt or a G&G hat. And he started laughing. All right.
Mayo Riot for 2. The Starfield stuff's so gay. I'm just glad I'm a Nintendard.
Yes.
I can't wait till fucking Mario gets pronouns. Mayo Not for 5. Bring back the game Freedom Fighters. Would they call it white nationalist propaganda or normal because you fight against Russians? I don't know.
Hey, there's a G.I. Joe game coming out, and I'm happy about that.
Oh, really?
Side-scroller beat 'em up. It's a side-scroller beat 'em up.
Who's making it?
So it's a Freedom Games.
Freedom Games.
Yeah. I retweeted it.
Interesting.
It looks good, but it looks a little clunky. But it's not coming out till next year. But overall, I'm excited about it. And Snake Eyes is in it with Timber. So let's go. I'm excited.
Mark Reality for 2. Part of free speech is being able to not Being able to not say what you don't want to say. If I want to call you him, his, then that's what I will call you. You don't have the right to change my language. Thank you. Wedge Seraph, member for 6 months. Have you guys seen the latest Godzilla -0 trailer? It's 90 seconds. A reaction would be super cool. Isn't it all in fucking Japanese? Oh, Godzilla. Neanderthal 2020 for 20 holiday, and you all still working. Respect. I can finally be here live. Oh, maybe that's why so many people are here. They're not at fucking work. David Nelson for 199. Thanks for the entertainment from the 199 Legion. Thank you. Crispy Noken, member for 6 months. Scanning in for the 199. Hail all. Happy heavenly birthday to the legend, Jason David Frank, green, white, red, and black ranger. Would have been 50. R.I.P. R.I.P. to Jason David Frank. We got another $50 super chat from Cole Hauser,
baby.
I care about personality and character. That's why I love you guys. When they race swap Jack Bauer, I'm like, why am I going to watch this garbage? What happened? Lasted 6. What? You mean did they do like a 24 spinoff with a black person? They didn't race swap Jack Bauer, did they? Tell me about that. I'm going to be furious. You can't force me to like something I don't relate with. 199, yo, Joe. Thank you, Cole Hauser. Weeb Addict. For 4 months. I think we can all agree California needs to disappear into the ocean and the world can heal again. Starfield is corrupt. Armored Core is forever.
I need to play Armored Core. Hayden Wayne.
People are saying this new Armored Core game is better than Zone of the Enders.
Really?
Which is the ultimate. It's the ultimate.
I've heard good things about it. It looks cool.
It's about Glenathan for 5. People need to remember it's about more than just forced pronouns in a video game.
Yes.
Cole Hauser, member for 4 months. Happy Monday, Ryan, Jeremy, and Dan. Another fabulous Monday for the Daily Show. Hey, Ryan, Shipwreck is looking great. You guys are the best. 199, yo, Joe. Yes. Jeremy, I had my first G.I. Joe.
I see it. That's you.
Cole Hauser sent it to me.
Yeah, and I found him actually in Target. I found that classified version of Shipwreck. That is Ryan. Ryan is Shipwreck.
Looks kind of like me.
Yeah, it's you.
I don't have a parrot.
So we can get you one.
Shaker Maker for 5. Why buy new cash grabs when I can tackle my large backlogs of game from a better era? Yeah, I played Minecraft the other night. No pronouns in that.
What's up with that, man? I was like, what the fuck's going on? Ryan playing a video game?
It was really late. I didn't want to like get into something.
Dude, there's an amazing mod for Minecraft that introduces what is the name of that lighting technology?
Yeah, ray tracing.
Ray tracing. Minecraft.
It looks really cool.
It looks fucking amazing.
It looks wild, yeah.
Yeah, but it's heavy. It's super heavy.
There's a lot of cool, really cool mods for it where you can do like a Norse mythology mod and awesome. Things are named different shit. Yeah, they got a lot of cool stuff.
One of my weird
Star Wars mod.
One of my weird hobbies is to mod old games with ray tracing. The last Halloween I streamed Doom, the original Doom from the 90s with ray tracing. It looks fucking amazing, man. It's awesome.
As response to my tweet,
say the N-word.
As response to my tweet, because I put, I'm so happy Hill versus Bayface was wearing a G&G shirt during his Starfield rant. And then As says, I love that D-Day Cobra can turn any situation involving someone else into something about him. Never change. Says the guy that literally interrupts every Friday Night Tights all day long. That guy. Of course I can make it about myself. Zephyr fuckers free t-shirts to wear them for me.
Zephyr for 2, Attack of the Pronoun People. Mike Hill for 5. It's sad time right now with the lead singer of Smash Mouth now on his deathbed. Well, that super chat is now out of date. He's dead now.
He is dead.
But thank you, Mike. CJ for 10. I stand with Dan and Az 100%. While pronouns might not seem like a big deal, if you don't take a stand on it, it leads downstream to the destruction of your favorite IPs and Gina Carano being fired. It's true.
Thank you.
Desirius for 5. I'm confused why Starfield is where we're drawing the line on things like pronouns in games when Hogwarts Legacy and Baldur's Gate 3 have them too.
I didn't play Baldur's Gate 3. I have the 2 original ones right there, big boxes, 1 and 2. I never played the third one because I'm falling out of modern Western video games precisely because that sort of shit. But I was willing to give Starfield a chance, and yeah.
Yeah, well, and not everybody has to be 100% aligned on everything, and there might be some things where you see that it really doesn't affect you, and that's not your line, you know. So I don't think that people are. We're just talking about this very specifically because it blew up. It is blown up on social media specifically over this.
Well,
So.
like, I mean, the reality of it is shockingly enough, people, even friends, disagree on shit. I know it's a crazy. I know it's crazy. It's a crazy situation here, but ultimately, people do disagree. People within our own little sphere, even though we're called constantly an echo chamber because that's confession through projection from other people, which is fine with me. But like, there was disagreements on the Mario movie, you know, in our little community. There's disagreements on a lot of different things, and that's just the way the world operates. So people are going to see things from their own perspective, and that's totally fine. If you're going to call a person hypocritical for a viewpoint on one thing and then a viewpoint on another, that is fine. I would argue that if you really want to look deep into it enough that everybody's hypocritical to some extent. It just are. That's just human nature to be hypocritical about shit. It's about the are you being overly are you just being obviously hypocritical for the sake of being hypocritical? And I think that there's a lot of nuance involved with all of these circumstances that you could point to as to why people are coming to the conclusion they're coming to. So there you go.
Yeah, people have different thresholds to their tolerance of bullshit, and it's completely okay. Guys, I have a heart out now because I have to be in another show. This thing, everybody wants to talk about this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome.
Hey, man, for it. crushing it. So appreciate you, brother.
Dude, it was awesome hanging out with you guys again. I'll try to show up more. I talked to Jeremy about it. It's hard to conciliate with some things, but shouldn't always gotta have time for friends, man. Always.
Hey, bro.
Have time for friends.
Always welcome. He said a hard out, not a hard on. Okay, the chat. I knew the chat was going to get you on that one. You said I got a hard out. They were like, a hard what? A hard what? The whole chat. Hard what?
Is that wrong?
Did I say hard wrong? On means boner.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
how do you know I don't have that too?
We don't. We just didn't know if you were announcing it.
Okay. So take care, guys. Thanks again for having me on.
All right,
bye,
man.
chat.
See you, Dan.
Take it easy. Later.
Ministry of Wrong Thing for 10. As rant wasn't just in isolation. He's frustrated with the fact that every facet of entertainment is including woke BS with ever decreasing levels of subtlety that is completely erasing escapism.
Yes.
JS Pena for 10. Dan, if you want to hit 1 million, do a cover of Blue Oyster Cult's Godzilla by November 3rd. And yes, it's the one that goes go Godzilla.
He didn't even get to grift and get some subs off this.
Dude, sub to Dan. What's his gaming channel? Super Dan 64 or something. What it's honestly
it's Super Dan Vask or something, right?
It's Super Vask, right?
Super Vask.
I wasn't even trying to be an asshole. I just
pushing people to his fucking gaming channel.
Super Vask 3D, right?
Yeah, there we go. Super Vask 3D.
He's got almost that. Well, they were talking about gaming. I figured, you know.
Hey, can I show what I picked up yesterday, Ryan? It'll make you happy. Not really, because you don't care. Look at that. Come on, Ryan. You know that's awesome. That takes me back. Look at that. GamePro and Electronic Gaming Monthly from like the 2000s. Oh, come on, bro. That's the best thing ever right there. That's like a time machine, like reading through a time machine. And that EGM with Twisted Metal Black is like perfect. It's perfect condition. Love EGM. Ryan doesn't care.
Yeah, cool. Can't wait for you to put that in a closet somewhere. Iram Amin for 20,000 Iranian something, Indonesian maybe. Dan, your tweet exposed disingenuous YouTubers. Mikey Gusler for 5. Did you see Angry Joe Ackman, Ordinary Gamer, Review Tech USA attack ass and call him triggered? Irony coming from those guys.
It's wild. The response has been wild.
Beach Lover for 2. How about inviting Az to this live stream? Jeremy said he didn't want him on.
Yeah, don't want him on. I want to be the focus.
As is welcome to call in if he wants. We just with the time change, he's always fucking sleeping at weird times. So I don't know what time it is for him. Beach Lover for 2. I just said that. Nostalgiatron for 5. Reminder, Ackman got bullied into giving $1,000 to a trans charity for playing Hogwarts and still got shit on anyways. LMAO. Also, love to G and Az.
Man, everything was crazy yesterday. Did you see the Dr. Disrespect stuff about Starfield?
Yeah, the Starfield, because he was bigoted or whatever. They didn't give him a sponsorship.
Yeah, and then I don't watch Dr. Disrespect, okay? I've literally never watched a full Dr. Disrespect stream. Don't really give a shit about Dr. Disrespect. But these weirdos opened up, like they put this clip up of him. Did you see this clip? I was like, this makes me a Dr. Disrespect fan. You want to hear this clip?
It's like
Brian?
making fun of pronoun people.
This makes me a Dr. Disrespect fan. You ready?
Yep.
How the hell do I say your name? Sounds like I'm starting up a motorcycle. A Chinese motorcycle. Have you ever heard of a Chinese motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen? No. How the hell do I say your name?
Pretty good.
So the people that were like hating on it for clipping that out, I was like, this is awesome. I've never cared about Doc, but after seeing this, maybe I should.
Phil of the UK for 5. Got one of my first side quests to find a wedding ring for a gay couple. They included a social commentary on restaurants only being for rich people. The fuck? Ministry of Wrong Thing for 10. Yeah, sure, it's just pronouns. Just like Canada just made it a criminal offense to misgender people, completely vindicating Jordan Peterson. People are gaslighting to defend propaganda mission creep. Shifty-eyed ninja for 2, as is right. Linko Kenobi for 10. I'm glad I got it for free on Game Pass. At least I can try it out, then delete it. Damn, this better not happen with Spider-Man. Everyone has the right to make an opinion on any entertainment. 199.
Is it on Game Pass?
I think so. If you have Xbox Game Pass, yeah.
I have.
Desirius for 5. I stand with Az 100%, but why is this wokeness using to call the game crappy like Nina Infinity said when Hogwarts Legacy was 100 times more woke? I mean, I think that's just going to depend on the person. Like I said, to be honest with you, I haven't played Starfield, but I'm a little more partial to that type of like identification, like actually having gendered shit in there rather than treating everyone as if like being afraid to put any specific gender in the game like they did with that and even refer to everyone as they. But I haven't played the game, so I can't tell you about the experience itself.
And one thing about Hogwarts was, there was a lot of like everything gets a movement or like something gets momentum and stuff like that. So when you started seeing people actively boycotting Hogwarts Legacy because of J.K. Rowling and her opinions or whatever, you know what I mean? It became like this whole kind of movement with that game centered around like the movement around the game became bigger than the game in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Because of the active boycott, Hassan refused to play the game because his community bullied him by saying you're transphobic if you do it. So then you motivate people when you call them, say, hey, if you play this game, then you are this. And then people are like, okay, well, then I'm going to fucking do it. And so a lot of people overlook that. I do think that if you look at Hogwarts Legacy, it got a massive bump, a huge bump. And then it kind of like, it sold a shit. I think it's still best-selling game of the year. I think.
To be honest, my biggest problem with Hogwarts Legacy is the racial makeup of Hogwarts. To be honest with you, for a game that's set in like 1890s UK, for like all the random diversity that's there, it makes zero fucking sense. It makes zero sense other than it's a modern game. We know that's not what Hogwarts looks like in the 1990s. So why would it look like that in the 1890s? It's just really stupid. The population of, again, different parts of the world have different magical schools all around the globe. So the idea that the one that's based in the UK would like be so like this range of diverse people when even in the 1990s UK, I think the white population was somewhere around 95%. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
You know what doesn't make sense? This IGN review right here. Netflix One Piece is an entertaining adaptation that's hindered by a desire to recreate every major event found in its source material. 6 out of 10. So because it honored the source material, that's a negative. That is current games journalism. That is current Hollywood journalism right there. If you are focused on honoring the source material, you are not doing a good job, according to mainstream journalism right there. Holy crap. That is fantastic. That is fantastic.
Scorn for 5. Just refunded Starfield, not because it's woke BS, just because it's boring. I'll get back to Daggerfall. Stephen Wasik for 20. While he isn't wrong, it would carry more weight if he hadn't cowered from Dylan Mulvaney, censored his thumbnails, tried to command us on how to refer to people paying for goods and services. Lofty's a beta too. Hashtag consumer. Cowered from Dylan Mulvaney. Censored his thumbnails.
Who did that?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're talking as?
Well, first of all, like censoring your thumbnail, trust me, if we all could do the thumbnails we wanted, we'd all have chicks with big tits and our thumbnails hanging out because those get the most clicks. They also get flagged every time.
Yeah, so like if I put fuck in a thumbnail, it gets demonetized.
Yes.
If I put F asterisk CK, so you can say that he's, it's James Gunn saying fuck or whatever, it's fine. Like those are the rules. So I don't think there's anything I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Oh, he's saying Lofty did. He's saying
Lofty did.
That's what they're saying that. Well, I do like Lofty pixels. I like Lofty. I appreciate Lofty's different takes on things. I enjoy that he has different takes, and I enjoy that it creates conversations. And I'm not going to apologize for that. And I don't think he should apologize for it. He can be annoying to people, but I think that that's needed. I think that that's needed for conversation. And again, he's willing to stand by the horrendous backlash he gets. And I think that's respectable. I do. That's why I've had him on main event several times.
Angela Richter for 10. I had to stop reading a favorite author because she began the pronoun crap, and I made sure that was reflected in my review. I was constantly pulled out of the story. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, that's like sometimes it just becomes too much. That's how Rick Riordan kind of became with his series. Like there was already fucking diversity there, shit like that, but then he went really in on this trans shit and this gay character, and it was very off-putting to a lot of people. Fear Sundown for 5. They're freaking out for a specific reason, like Gary, Miles, and Ryan Batman. It's because they don't want the line moved back, so subtle woke is called out. Zova Keen for $5. Thank you. Gunslinger for 10. It's more than just a video game. It's part of our culture and about controlling the narrative. Thank you, Gunslinger. Lil Rash for 2. The Colonel also has the only nice rack. Don't know. Baby Chewbacca for $1.99. Those who say it's just a game also shout for woke shit. Dull Life Dan for 2. I stand with Az. Hashtag we are all Az. Elder Scold for 5. If it were just a game, Lara Croft would still be impractically busty.
Exactly. It's not just a game, and that's the problem, is that the social justice and the left wing have decided that games have to be. It's just like people say, it's just Star Wars, guys. Why are you mad? And it's like, because Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy told us that Star Wars needs to look like the real world. Lucasfilm told us that representation is important in a galaxy far, far away. Lucasfilm told us that the galaxy far, far away that George Lucas created needs to look more like the real world, because there's a lot of women in the world that can fight and hold their own, and we need more women. And it's like, no, it's not. I'm so sick of that fucking argument. If you're making that argument, you truly do not understand what the hell we've been talking about for the last few years. You have no clue what we're talking about. And maybe you're just oblivious to it. Maybe you just haven't been privy to the information. Maybe that's the case, but you clearly have no idea what we're talking about when you come in here and you go, it's just X, Y, or Z. You don't know what's going on.
Bluegrass Berserker for 17 months. Just a friendly reminder that men are men and women are women. There's only 2 genders. If you're offended by that, you are the problem. Hail the 199. Tommy reviews for 5. To the person who said it's just a game, here's a hot take for them. You have an anime profile picture. Your opinion's invalid. It's just an anime. Experiment for 2. The Nolan trilogy's back in theaters September 16th.
Yes. Oh, and Oppenheimer officially the number 3 highest grossing film of the year. And it's going to make a run at $1 billion. I think it's going to fall short, but it's going to probably get around 920, 930.
You think
probably.
Oppenheimer is going to be the biggest movie of all time that has never been number 1 at the box office?
It already is.
Okay. What was it? What did it break?
The announcement came out like 2 weeks ago.
Like not a single day is number 1 in the box office.
Yeah, I can't remember, but
movie.
they did announce this like 2 weeks ago that it officially became whatever that was.
It would have had to been something to come out with something really big too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, I can't remember what but yes, it is officially, and it's right now it's on track. I think it's going to pass Bohemian Rhapsody for the number 1 biopic of all time. Which that was a PG-13 movie, which is shocking. I figured a movie about Freddie Mercury would be rated R as hell. But yeah. But
they didn't show how he got the AIDS, so it was just PG-13.
I think it said Sing. Yes, Sing. The animated movie Sing was the
Sing.
Yeah. Was the highest grossing movie that never hit number 1. I think it was like 600 million or something like that.
That's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
War Machine with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Jose M for 20. LOL. Ryan and Jeremy. Shannon Sharp called Stephen A. Skip 3 times on First Take today.
Did he really?
That's pretty funny.
Skip. Okay,
Skip.
that is funny.
Stephen A. Skip.
That is funny as hell. Oh my god, I can't wait to see that.
Shaker Maker with a gift membership. Thank you. Nutcase for 20. It's just a video game. It doesn't matter. Then say that about the format. They need the field to consistently use for their activism. Gaslighting at its finest. Yes. Taker for 5 on Facebook. Someone said it doesn't hurt you to use someone's preferred pronouns. Of course, they left out is it will hurt if you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sir Ubisoft for 2. Child groomers. All your pronouns are belong to us. Blue-Eyed Scorpio for 10. They always oversimplify. Say we're crying over pronouns. Say we don't like a movie because a woman does something. It's a cheap way to discredit the root of what we're all saying. That's true. Blue-Eyed Scorpio spending $10. Must have been passionate about that.
Yeah,
so
man.
Thank you.
That's probably the biggest super chat he's ever sent. It'll be the last one for a long time. So enjoy that one, chat.
Carlos Estrada for 2. Shout out to the only trans-loving New Zealander I know, as Carl Weber for 5. On Ackman at 12:55 on his video, is the KOTOR remake ruined? He literally stated he didn't want they them pronouns in the game. Really? Let me look. Ackman KOTOR.
We got to see if we can pull that one up, because yeah, Ackman's going off on. He's going ham on Az, man. He pulled up Az's Hogwarts Legacy. He clipped all that together, completely failing to understand Az's point. And I think he was intentionally misunderstanding Az's point just to pile on even more. But he made that tweet. And again, this is a guy who we have done everything to have this dude's back. Like when he got demonetized and everything like that. And that doesn't mean that he just has to agree with everything, but the pile on is kind of retarded at this point.
So he said 12:55. Haven't listened to it yet, so let's see.
Exactly the same. Bastila should still be super hot and maybe touch up Juhani. Number 3, please God, don't give Revan non-binary pronouns. Since Revan could be either male or female, the door is open, right? Why not add a third option? Well, because the entire game was rewritten and re-recorded to accommodate 2 sets of pronouns. That's a huge investment of time and resources. I guess it wouldn't be such a big deal if it's an optional choice. I just think the effort should be spent making the dialogue that's already there better. Adding a third option is not necessary for more inclusion. Add more romance options.
He did qualify
it. He did qualify it.
He qualified it.
But I would say just in general that if there is an option like there is in Starfield to have they them pronouns, that is off-putting to virtually everyone who plays the game in order to appease 0.01% of fucking people in the world. You know what I mean? And it is all an effort to make it about current day identity politics. That's what it is. I also would not want Revan to have non-binary pronouns in the KOTOR remake.
Well,
but I understand what he's saying too with how he talked about it.
Well, why don't we have pronoun options in Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, Ryan?
Yeah, because when those games were made, you didn't have a small group of woke activist fucking degenerate freaks that were trying to normalize that. And that's the difference.
And what does Az say consistently? Current day bullshit. That's all it is. It's current day bullshit. And it's irrelevant and it doesn't matter. And the fact that you have a gaming company with a AAA title going out of their way to pander to a group of fucking weirdos that do not matter is the problem. That is why people are upset right there.
Crowfu for 10. You know the gaming industry is in trouble when the best games are now indies like Hammerwatch 2 or Korean games like Stellar Blade. Gamers will make games they want if mainstream devs won't. Thank you. Fictitious Dave Savage for 5. Character Z, I'm not a man. I'm a woman. That is cloned from a man. main character. I got news for you. It means you're a man. You music climax. Grandmaster Chris for 5. Ackman's a hypocrite. He's made rant videos on Halo 5, Call of Duty World War II, Battlefield 2042, Diablo 4, and a video titled Stop Politicizing Games.
Yeah, I mean, it really just like he can disagree with Az. He can have a different take. He's piling on, and his comments about like Gorilla that was just next level, man. So again,
I mean, to be I can't say too much about that. Obviously, it's mean because Az is my friend, but at the same time, I call people fat and shit all the time. So what can I can't fault him for that one too much.
Yeah, but I guess it's just like, what did Az say that was inherently wrong? You can disagree with the passion. That you can say he went, a little, okay, guess what? That's what people that care about things are passionate about things. And they let that passion, kind of bleed out. And like, what specifically to his points were wrong? To his actual point was wrong. And that's what my question is forget how worked up he is, all the yelling, whatever. The points he was making, what do you disagree with? That's what I want to know.
David Murdoch art for 5. Bethesda isn't quite about their positions. If you're going to give them money, even if a game isn't woke, you're still supporting it. There you go. Ryan for 5. It's not just pronouns. Didn't Az also post a scene in Starfield where a character says she is a cloned trans woman? Yes. Dimio Pachi for 50,000 Indonesian rupees. Here's my first 50 from another currency. Hail Jeremy Ryan. Dan almost caused a riot before the election. Crowfu for 5. How many more Saints Rows or Forspokens do we need till these devs realize these people don't buy their games? Dragon Age 4 is the next, given BioWare's reputation.
Yeah, I tend to believe this Starfield's gonna die off. I think
gonna fall off.
Gonna fall off.
There's been so much hype and buildup about this game over the last several years. It's kind of crazy. I'm not interested in it. I really haven't been the whole time. I do really like the Elder Scrolls franchise. I'm excited that this game is out so they can start working on Elder Scrolls 6, actually. But I just have no desire to play it, to be honest. Benology for 10. Love you all. Don't get caught up in the controversy political landscape much, but this weekend was something crazy. Guess there's always Fortnite.
Hey, let's go.
You can start including pronouns in Fortnite, and everyone's just going to target the they thems.
They'll throw a little gay flag in there and stuff, but I love Fortnite.
Jameek Robinson becomes a channel member. Thank you. CJ for 5. 4K viewers on a morning stream. Dan Vask equals ratings. Yes. Carlos Estrada for 2. I oddly respect Furry Trans Lofty over Angry Joe. About it for 2. Let's taco about it. We did. John Jones for 2. We need a Bud Light Starfield. Matthew Reeves for 5. You're welcome, Jeremy. Tom A. Too much. I stand with Az. Is Dan still scared to play Mario Kart from Jeremy beating him down so much?
What does this mean? This is such a grift. What's such a grift? I'd love to know exactly what you think is the grift. Please inform me. I would certainly like to know, because I'm not highlighting this in the event that hopefully somebody will send more super chats or anything like that. I would never do that. I have too much respect for the platform to highlight a comment only to make a meme out of it or to get a super chat out of it. I highly respect my platform. I would never do anything like that.
The dude's name is Winkle. Dull Life Dan for 5. The base Romanian V, aka lack of entertainment, coined the term appeal to triviality fallacy. The appeal to triviality fallacy. It's very relevant to the attacks on Az. It's a good point. Taker for 5. Hell yeah, Jeremy. One Piece live action is great because the original creator's very hands-on and chose the cast himself. Let's see. Taker, I just said that. Crowfu for 5. The only game I'm excited for is Dragon's Dogma 2. I hope at one point we get Dragon's Crown 2, but it's too base with hot chicks and buff daddies. There you go. For the Emperor says for the grift. So congratulations to Winkle for helping us.
At no point in time did I ever mean for anyone to send a super chat based off that. Morgan Bliss becomes a new member as well.
Thank you, Morgan. There we go. Dumb H5. Ryan is the MVP of reading super chats. I'm trying to be. We got too many today. Valkyria winner. Member for 9 months. Playing Starfield myself. Haven't seen any pronoun people, but when I do, I'll kill them or pound them. Skull. Thank you, Valkyria. Mike Hill for 5. Some people is talking about like it's a deal that Blue Beetle will pass Shazam 2 at the domestic box office. It will have more than it domestically. Unfortunately, it's an international fucking nightmare. So at the end of the day, it's probably going to end up with just slightly more worldwide than Shazam 2, which is still going to be $100 million loss for Blue Beetle. So all the Mexicans that are making TikTok videos about me, maybe rub a few pesos together and go support Blue Beetle yourself. Maybe then it'll actually be a profitable movie.
My new friend still hasn't commented to tell me what's such a grift. I'm really disappointed in that, Ryan. I was really looking forward to knowing what was a grift, because I've never grifted. I'm not a grifter. I'm a very honorable person. I don't try to do YouTube to get views or make money. I'm here for the art and the passion and just a good feeling of knowing I've put good out in the world. All right. I would never want money from this ever. I would never want that. And I hope no one sends money at all, because that would go against my core principle value of creating a business and investing money into my business. I would never want to make a profit. That would just be so far over the line. I'm not sure how I deal with that. I just want to be clear about that. And I'm getting a little emotional. So can we just stop talking about money? Because money makes me very uncomfortable, guys. Thank you very much.
The Happy Plague Doctor for 5. So is it just Smash now that the mouth is gone? Maybe.
Damn, fucking shit, dude. Really? Really?
Come on.
I was in full sarcasm mode, and that completely knocked me out of it. Damn.
Come on. Yeah.
Fuck.
I already saw that he's left the band and shit like that. I'm sure Josiah will make that video. But Smash Mouth's breaking up. Poorhouse Bastard becomes a channel member. Thank you. Bonesaw is ready for 5. Thank you guys for showing the full context for Az's rant. I guarantee Hassan be thrown in breaking stuff if MAGA was in the game. Yeah, I know, right? Baby Chewbacca for 199. Super vasectomy. Mike Hill for 5. Game Pro was my go-to magazine back in the day.
Yes, Game Pro. Love Game Pro. EGM was my number 1. Game Pro was number 2 for me. Game Informer was the 3rd. And Nintendo Power was probably right there, probably within 3rd too. But Game Informer, because correct me if I'm wrong, chat, I feel like Game Informer is the one that came for you got that one for free if you had like a GameStop card or some bullshit. Like if you got a GameStop card, they gave you a free subscription to Game Informer. Am I right about that? I think so. Anyway, continue.
Neanderthal for 20. Miss when gaming journalists actually liked video games. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish when I miss when I liked them too. Yum, eat 'em up for 5. Super disappointed in Actman. Dude tweets like he doesn't know who Az is. Guy was literally on the EFAP 250 stream when Az was. Actman knows who Az is. And
the plot thickens.
That is interesting. Now, I
and
will
the
say, if
plot
you're on
thickens.
some
But
big stream that you've been a part of, you might not know everybody. I'll say that.
that is true. That is true.
But so I don't know how many people were on when he was on, but yeah.
Yeah, that is
I've been
true.
on EFAP. I certainly don't know everybody who's been on there. And if you're on one of those big anniversary streams, it gets pretty crowded. But who fucking knows? Baby Chewbacca for 199. Hogwarts, you mean pork pimples? Yes. Andre Perez for 5. Google list of best-selling comic series, then check Wikipedia numbers to see how popular One Piece is. Meme TV for
Meme
10.
TV in the house.
Hashtag heel versus babyface did nothing wrong. That's right.
What up, Meme
That's
TV?
right.
Hope you're doing good, buddy.
Heroic Kitten for 20. 40 hours in, loving Starfield. Game's not perfect, but it's fun. I can keep up with what is woke and what isn't. I can't keep up with what is woke and what isn't. I'm sorry, but if I enjoy a game, I'm going to play it. Hating on everything is not good for my mental health.
Hey, man.
I think we've been pretty clear about that today.
Fully support you playing whatever games you want, whatever movies you want to watch. Don't judge people. I'm not just gonna call you a name because you like something or play something or whatever. All I ask is for the same in return. If I don't play something or if I don't watch something, I don't want to be called names, because if I start getting called a name, I'm gonna call you worse names, and I'm gonna monetize it.
Desirius for 5. I've played about 25 hours of Starfield. Absolutely love it. Brought me back to the days when I was a kid playing Oblivion. Nice. The Mudstar for 50. I got a community guidelines warning from YouTube for calling someone a fucktard after they called me a troll. Recently, I used the asterisk. I don't know what the context is.
Yeah.
If it was in a thumbnail or if it was in a comment or something.
There's different levels to it on YouTube.
Sir Ubisoft for 2. For both of you, favorite fighting game of the 90s?
Of the 90s?
Mortal Kombat, I guess. Like,
Mortal Kombat 3 was my go-to Mortal Kombat game. Soul Calibur is probably my favorite. Mortal Kombat 3 was my favorite Mortal Kombat game. But I would have to...
Tekken was early 2000s, right?
I can't remember. I feel like the first Tekken came out late 90s, if I'm not mistaken. But I would say Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur.
Oh shit,
1.
Tekken. Okay, Tekken 2. Oh well, it came out in arcades in 95.
Okay.
I'm thinking about PlayStation. Oh yeah, that came out in the 90s. I really like Tekken then. Yeah. It came out in 1996 on PlayStation. Tekken 2 did. So I don't know when the first one came out.
Yeah, Soul Calibur Dreamcast was fucking goated. Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube, because you could play as Link in that one. I loved that one. Soul Calibur those are probably, like, outside of Smash Bros, are my favorite fighting games.
Bert for 5. ASAP. Ryan needs to get rid of his new stylist for outfitting him with that short sleeve striped Henley shirt. It's 1 or 2 sizes too big. I mean, I just wanted something to throw on today.
Hey, this is for sale in my Cobra Cast store. You can go get my Cobra Don't Tread on Me shirt if you want. Yeah, hoodies, shirts, all that.
Matthew Rives for 5. Thank you for not grifting and asking money for your business. I think that's toxic as hell. Enjoy Sea of Stars, by the way.
Yeah, it's we would never. I would never ever do anything like that. I would never send 50 gifted memberships to the chat like I'm about to do right now, just to kind of motivate people to send even more money. I would never do anything like that. I have far more respect for this platform and my business. I would never do anything like that, Ryan. Just
Desirius with a gift membership. Thank you. CJ for 5. Dan Vasquez, no fear going against the entire leftist mafia on Twitter for speaking the truth, but he fears playing Jeremy in Mario Kart.
This is true. Look at there. I have 50 gifted memberships for the lovely 3,500 people watching this stream.
That's a lot.
That is just to offset any idea that I would be grifting. All right. I take offense to that. So please never call me that. Never do that.
Disco Cobra for 20. I think these guys just want to generate clicks on their tweets or channels. Seems like the same people are dogpiling ads on his take. They get pissed at stuff all the time and expect everyone to agree with them. It's BS.
It is. I mean, like, Twitter is a different world now. It's a different world. The whole monetization thing, I tweeted this out yesterday. I can't tell what's real and what's not real anymore, for especially in politics. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many accounts that have just popped up all of a sudden with blue check marks. And I'm like, and I'm not complaining because I think I love the chaos, but Twitter is a different world now.
To Shiv Charon for 400 yen or something. I don't know what the fuck kind of money that is. Late to the discussion, but it does have similar meltdown and the degeneracy for Baldur's Gate 3. If not, this rant only makes him look hypocritical. He should upload his Baldur's Gate 3 degeneracy rant if it exists. Also, I don't know if he's played Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know if he's talked about it or played it, but it's the same kind of thing as like, oh, did you get this offended in 2014 about this movie? It's like, well, maybe I did, but I didn't have a YouTube channel, or you know what I mean? I didn't watch that movie, so I can't tell you. I didn't play that game, so I don't know. I don't know if Az played Baldur's Gate 3. So
Chat says he has. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
to what extent, but at the end of the day, like, it's all circumstantial. It's all based on whatever your experience is. And
this is also one clip that got cut out of 35 hours of him playing Starfield. So if he's played Baldur's Gate 3, maybe that rant does exist somewhere in there. Az didn't upload this. Dan Vask fucking clipped it from his stream and uploaded it. Just for the fucking record. Zero Cool for 5. Ryan eats corn the long way. That's why he's ignoring my other super chat. I'm trying to get all the super chats. Elsid Barrett for 10. Winkle, little troll. I'm just here to pay the toll. Pilgrim Media for 5. Commie class struggles replaced by commie woke struggle. We have to win. Accident Seller for Norwegian 20. I identify as a PS1. My pronouns are NTSC/PAL. Thank you. Davey Verse for 10. I don't know if I'm missing the point, but if you want to be male or female, won't you just choose that sex in the game? Only a cosplayer would pick male, then she, her pronouns BS.
It is BS. 100%.
Zero Cool for 5. Az eats corn the long way because he comes from the land down under. There you go. Sir Ubisoft for 10. Call me crazy, but since Barbie is said to outsell Mario, do you think BlackRock and their investors and Media Cash have had a hand to trick everyone since the window lickers are so obsessed with agenda? No. Barbie made a lot of fucking money. A lot of people went to fucking see Barbie. A lot of people also went to see Mario. And the idea that they would fucking... that Warner Brothers would just decide to have this mystery fucking astroturfing campaign for Barbie while every single one of their garbage DC movies, including ones that push agendas, is just fucking flopping at the box office. I think that's wild to think that. Personally.
I agree.
Stuart Hamilton, member for 3 months. Thank you very much. All right, go back down here.
Ryan's
Ashy Washy for 20. Fucking pronouns. You all are grifters. Now take my money. Thank you.
Thank you, Bashy Wash.
Eric John Pizza Artist for 199. Would a Zelda movie top Mario, assuming that it's done right?
No.
I doubt it.
No. It would do good, but I think Mario is like, you got to do something next level. I think a Smash Bros movie, if they build towards it, could ultimately make more than Mario. I think a Zelda movie would be I think Zelda movie could be a better movie, but I don't think it's going to do more numbers than Mario.
I said that. Kevin Cron for 5. Since Jeremy does never put out a super chat war over if he will show ugly, disgusting feet.
Yeah, I would never do that. I have a lot more respect for this platform than that. So leave that to other people.
Matthew Rise for 2. To clarify, I was being sarcastic on my last super. The grifting and asking for money one. Thank you. Metal Slave for 5 gift memberships. Thank you. Desirius for 5. I 100% agree with calling out wokeness, but at the same time, I feel like we're looking through a microscope.
Right, I mean, we are, but we're all hypersensitive to it. We're all hypersensitive to it. I mean, like I talked about this whenever I reacted to the Mario trailer with Peach and everything. And in fact, this is other people saw it as a girl boss Peach after the movie. I didn't, but I'm hypersensitive to that shit now. You know what I mean?
It's not just about it, like, it's not just about this game. I imagine if Azagon, he saw pronouns in the start screen, is like, that's fucking weird. But the problem is, over the past decade, every form of entertainment has been invaded by these people who are trying to push an agenda, who have taken over the entertainment industry, and they're trying to shove it everywhere. So it's a buildup of things that you see.
Yep.
That's what causes stuff like that. Crimson Raptor for 5. Some guy called DJ Cobra just gifted me a membership. Thanks. You guys are awesome, and I look forward to your videos every day. Hail the 199. Darth Jazzy Mag says, let's talk about Rocky Knob Outpost. Keep up the great entertainment, guys. 199. Thank you. Malty Maldy for 2, because I pick on Jeremy, but he knows it's love.
All love.
Daddy Magic for 20. Jeremy, thank you for grifting. Take my money.
You are welcome. And don't forget Mario Kart tonight here on the main channel, and then Cobra Cast on D-Day Cobra after that. A lot going on today on this Monday.
Abomination for 199 on Rumble, or 2 on Rumble, says 199 for the grift, and an extra penny as my condolences for that shag carpet that inexplicably got stuck on your chin.
That's good.
Thank you, Abomination.
That's good.
Accident Seller for 20 Norwegian. Yo, what's all this talk about Bald Heads Gate 3? There you go. And I think we're all caught up. I was going to talk about Ahsoka. We're going to save that for tomorrow.
Yes.
We're going to save it for tomorrow because we're already about 30 minutes over on this. So we can talk about the failure of Ahsoka before episode 4 comes out. That's perfectly fine.
It was a good episode. Appreciate Dan being here. It's been a while since he was here. He's had, we talked about it a while back, but I knew he'd be rolling it back around. You heard RGT85 watches G&G. Yeah, he said he's subscribed and he's watched, which he has commented on a video before that I made specifically about. What was that video that RGT had? That there was a former G4 employee that basically said something on his stream. Remember that a while back, Ryan? Something about a question about Superman or superheroes in the G, not IGN, G4. A G4 person was on the stream. Anyway, we talked about that.
About the Batman thing?
Why it was Batman.
Or why do you hate Batman?
Yeah, something like that. But I like RGT. We had our back and forth on Twitter. We talked it out. We're cool. So don't think that there's any beef with me and RGT. He's good peeps. I like him. I like his channel. I like Spawn Wave. I like all those guys. And so I hope they continue to be successful because they're doing really good work. So thank you guys so much. Let's see. Easley's Easy Travels for $9.99. Ryan, where do you like to eat when everyone rides Velocicoaster? $1.99. Ryan rides the Velocicoaster.
I've been on it a couple times. I didn't stay. I left before
we rode
Velocicoaster last time because I didn't work. But I don't know. I don't really know any good places to eat. Like, I don't have any favorite places to eat there.
That's a Jay question. That's a Jay question. Jay knows all the good places, and he knows where the best bathrooms are too. That's just a fact. That's why he's the best of us. Yeah, let's see. Love Spawncast, but hate Dreamcast guy on there. Yeah, they have a good crew. I like most of them. What time is Cobra Cast tonight? Probably like 11:30 Eastern. Yeah, after Mario Kart. So love Az, and he was right. Just hope he's okay. Az is good. Drunk 3PO's in the chat. Says, Ryan, how did you like Halloween Horror Nights?
Sorry, I just went there for like an hour, so I just walked around, tried some of the drinks and stuff. It was pretty late, but I figured might as well go on a night that it didn't seem very busy. So it looks interesting. Some pretty long fucking wait times for the houses, but I like the theming of all the scare zones. The scare zones seem bigger than they did last year.
There you go. All right, we're gonna end it there. Thank you to everybody that showed up. Huge stream. Go subscribe to Hill versus Babyface as continuing to crush it. And he, in all honesty, like right now is one of those times where, yeah, support him on his stream, support him on his tweets and everything like that, because the mob is 100% on him. But he's got a ton of support, and like I said, when it's all said and done, all those weirdos crying about him will find something else to cry about, and the newfound followers he has, and the new subscribers are going to be there to support him, and it will be a massive net positive for him. So shout out to all of you. Shout out to the 199. Ryan, what do you got going on, man?
Nothing. Just gonna be making more videos. That's pretty much it. Maybe streaming on RK Outpost, gaming in RK Outpost Kick every once in a while.
It's gonna change it to Super RK Outpost 3D.
I don't know about that.
All right, Mario Kart tonight here on the main channel. Cobra Cast after that. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day, and we will talk to all of you later. Subscribe to Geeks and Gamers Clips for all the uploads from this show. Bye, everyone.